Hey guys, welcome back. I'm Marcus. Last week on Pool School, we went a little bit over the chlorine, your stabilizer, and somewhat of the alkalinity. I want to hit a few things on the chlorine once again. Like I said, chlorine always gets a bad rap. One big misconception with chlorine, people always say, my eyes are burning, chlorine's too high. That's wrong. Okay, chlorine will not burn the eyes. Chlorine is a sanitizer. If your eyes are burning, you have a pH issue. Now, human eyes have between a 7.4 to a 7.6 pH. And with that being said, as long as you maintain your balance between 7.2 to 7.8, your eyes are not going to feel the traumatic difference. You start getting too high, and then your eyes start feeling the difference. And even your skin can too. You start getting too low, you're getting on the corrosive side. Your eyes and even your skin can feel the difference. So eyes burning, not a chlorine thing. It's a pH thing. Now, also, one other misconception that's out there. I can smell it. I got plenty of chlorine in my pool. Wrong. You should never smell chlorine. I don't care if you have a 10 part per million residual in that pool, you should never smell it. If you do, plain and simple, you have a pH and alkalinity issue. Remember, I told you, your alkalinity is your buffer for your pH. Now, with that being said, if its pH is too low, the chlorine becomes way too active. And yes, you will smell the chlorine. Excuse me. The way you fix that is you bring your alkalinity up, which in turn will bring your pH up, and problem solved. Now, once again, if the pH is too high, the chlorine is like that, less active, and it has the ability to become what we call locked up. In other words, you have chlorine that cannot work. And when that happens, what you need to do is you need to lower the pH in the pool. Okay, then you're probably going to have to turn around and shock said pool so you can free up the chlorine so that it can work like it's supposed to. So those are two big misconceptions on chlorine I want to get cleared up. And also, while I'm thinking about it, here's a helpful hint for you. If you fight a lot of pollen, or if you have pollen around, which most people do if they have pools, you can take 2 fuzzy tennis balls, put them in your skimmer. As the water comes in through the skimmer, the pollen will attach to the fuzz on the tennis balls, keeps it out of your filters. Once a week when you do your maintenance, you take the tennis balls out, you rinse them off, you throw them back in there. Just one helpful hint for you right there. And they have to be the fuzzy ones. They can't be a 2 or 3 year old tennis ball that's been played to death. You need the fuzz on them. And it will also help with the oils in the pool as well. But that's just a helpful hint. Now, getting back to balance. Another thing about the balance with the stabilizer, like I said, you want to be between 40 to 70. You don't want to get too high. You start getting too high. If you're a sand filter, do longer backwashes. If you're a cartridge filter, then what you're either going to have to do is either use a sump pump to pump some of the water down right to the bottom of the skimmer, refill that, run it overnight. If you don't have the ability to do that, what you can do, if you have an overflow, tape up your overflow, fill the water up in the pool, let the pool run overnight. The next morning, take the tape off, it's going to drain off what it's going to drain off. Now, if you don't have an overflow on there, then what you may have to do is create a siphon with a water hose. Now, some don't have that ability. Some do. Now, also, if you an older pool, y'all have Polarises. You can actually disconnect the Polaris line from the Polaris and use it to drain water off the pool if you don't have a sand filter. Those are just many things. I was really hoping on my last pool school that I might have got some questions, but unfortunately I didn't, and I'm kind of uncertain. It may just be the time of the year. I don't know. But guys, please feel free to ask me any questions you're unsure of. Getting back to the balance. Another thing as far as the stabilizer, one thing about stabilizer, some is good, more is not better. So 40 to 70, you start creeping up. Before you get way too high, go ahead and start working and bringing it down. Another thing, the alkalinity, like I said, that's your buffer for your pH. Too high of an alkalinity, you're going to run a high pH. Too low of an alkalinity, you're going to run a low pH. Now, And if you notice in most pools, even my customers, I always tell them, try to stay between an 80 to 100 as far as your alkalinity goes. That kind of sustains and you don't have a whole lot of pH fluctuation. Now, what is pH? pH is the measurement of acid or base in the water. Now, pH ranges from 0 to 14, 7 being neutral. For the pool, you want to be 7.2 to 7.8. Several reasons. One, because of the activity of the chlorine. Two, the way it's going to affect your skin and your eyes. Three, you also have other issues that it will affect. Vinyl liners, calcium levels will affect the elasticity in the wall. Calcium levels in a plaster pool will also affect how long the plaster lasts. What I'm going to do, because like I said, I'm not going to make several long videos. So I'm going to actually go ahead and get ready to cut this one short. So if you got any questions, please feel free to ask me. And like I said, if I have several of the same, I'll do a video on it. Next week, I'm going to cover a little bit more about balance, some more things. Chemistry is one of those things where it's not just easy peasy, nice and easy. It's a little bit of here and there to it. So the balance of the pool, chemistry, that's going to take a couple of pool schools. Until next time, y'all have a great day.